Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Momin and I am a registered dietitian nutritionist and a public health professional. Okay, so in my previous video you have learned about the distribution of body fat, why is it important and what does it indicate. So today in this particular video I am going to talk about how you can measure your body fat distribution. Basically there are two methods. So in this particular video I am going to only cover one particular method, which is known as waist to hip ratio. So the two methods are, number one is waist to hip ratio and the number two is waist circumference. Today we are going to only talk about waist to hip ratio, whose formula is very simple, given in front of you, which says waist to hip ratio equals to waist circumference either in centimeters or inches divided by hip circumference, again either in centimeters or inches. In either case keep the unit of both waist and hip the same. So for men the waist to hip ratio should be 0.95 or less, while for women waist to hip ratio should be 0.80 or less. Remember the difference in the cutoffs is due to the fact that women tend to have larger pelvic bones. So okay, let me elaborate the calculation further with the help of a couple of examples. So in the first example you are required to calculate the waist to hip ratio of a male whose waist is 102 centimeters while hip is 105 centimeters. So in the solution we can simply use the formula. All we have to do is we have to divide 102 by 105, which gives us 0.97, and as we can see that for men the waist to hip ratio should be 0.95 or less, so we can say that the waist to hip ratio for this particular individual has come out to be as 0.97, and this is not very much ideal. Now taking another example, we have to calculate the waist to hip ratio of a female whose waist is 66 centimeters while hip is 91.5 centimeters. So again we are simply using a formula. We are going to divide 66 by 91.5, which gives us 0.72. So as you can see, for females the waist to hip ratio should be 0.80 or less. Now in this particular case it is 0.72, which is obviously less than 0.80, so we can say that for the female the waist to hip ratio has come out to be as 0.72, which is quite ideal. Now remember that waist to hip ratio is very important, as it gives you an indication of various issues such as CVDs, cardiovascular diseases. So as per the particular research, it states that a male who has a waist to hip ratio of 1.1 has twice the chance of getting a heart attack compared to a male who has a waist to hip ratio of 0.95 or less, and similar is the case for females. So for females whose waist to hip ratio is more than 0.90, they have almost double the chance of getting a heart attack compared to some female who has waist to hip ratio of less than 0.80. So now I think you are able to very easily calculate your waist to hip ratio. So go measure your waist and hip circumference, put the values in the formula and see if you have a greater or a lesser risk of getting cardiovascular diseases. So keep watching my videos, keep liking, keep commenting, and most importantly keep sharing my videos with as many people as you can. Do not forget to watch the part 2 of this particular series, as I would be talking about the second method of measurement of body fat distribution. Until next time, Allah Hafiz.